What's going on there, friends and neighbors? ShinRobjira here, back with yet another Rob's Godzilla Room Reviews video, and today we are taking a look at the Bandai Godzilla 1964, there, I finally got it right, figure. This is easily one of my very favorite Bandai Godzilla figures of all time. It's one of the oldest figures in my collection. I originally did a video with this guy in it, Mecha King Ghidorah, and I believe 1974, but obviously, you know, here we are, we're remaking it, we're gonna make it look really, really nice. And speaking of looking really, really nice, this figure looks really, really nice. Just to cover this now, because I know I'll forget, yes, this is one of the oldest Godzilla figures in my collection. Taking a look at this picture right here, we can see that it says Bandai 1983 on the bottom of his foot. This guy hasn't been reissued. He's been thrown into the memorial boxes here and there, but finding him for a decent price and in decent condition is a marvel. Thankfully, my version of this guy isn't too banged up. His toenails are a little marked up. We'll get to that soon, but pretty much everywhere else, this guy is pretty schwanky. But let's just get into articulation first. So, up front, you can move his legs. They're at this really weird curve. This is back when Bandai was still on their freaking hay game, man. Oh, Jesus. They don't make Godzilla figures like this anymore. And his weirdly posed arms can go all the way around. Look at that, with his silver palms and everything. And you got articulation in the tail as well. Looking at this figure, you wouldn't really suspect that this is a Bandai figure. It kind of has like the color tone and the weird pose of a Marmot figure, but this is 100% a Bandai figure. Unfortunately, you will not be getting any articulation in the head though. It's just the arms, the legs, and the tail, as per usual. One thing I really love about this figure is just the crazy amount of different paint. I mean, we've got green and charcoal black as a base coat. We've got red in the mouth for the tongue, white for the teeth, white for the eyes, black for the pupils, and we have a lot of silver here. We have some silver on the top of his head. We have silver in the palms of his hands. We have silver on his stomach, on his knees, and of course on his toenails. No, we don't have silver on his fingernails though. Huh, weird. And of course the dorsal plates are silver as well till... Oh no, look at that. There's silver on the dorsal plates all the way throughout the tail. That's something Bandai doesn't do anymore. Something that I also really like about this figure is he looks so cool from a profile view, but when you get him head on, he kind of looks like a kid asking for a hug. Like, hug me. It's strangely adorable. His profile view though is it's just on point. The sculpt for this figure is fantastic. I really like how the scales look. I really like how the dorsal plates look. Everything about this figure just looks really, really cool, and it's somewhat of a time capsule because this isn't exactly 100% screen accurate, especially in the paint. I mean, mold-wise, it is pretty accurate, but you just don't see Bandai figures being made with such free-handedness anymore. Which, you know, isn't such a bad thing, because, you know, people like their screen accuracy. But I would absolutely not be against Bandai taking up this form of figure making again. Got some grody-looking toes, a little scuffed up, not too bad. A little bit of free-flying paint over here, silver. I don't know if you can see, but there's little highlights of green over here. Let me see if I can angle my lights better so you might be able to see that. Yeah, there we go. You can see there's like a little bit of green over here, a little bit of green over there. Unevenly painted, but I like it. Warning, Derpzilla inbound. And as you can see, from this point of his chest here, through his neck to his head, there's a lot of green in there too. And you'll find green on the back of him as well, mostly on the back of his arms, not so much the back of anywhere else. The rest of the figure is mostly this charcoal black. This is a great looking figure. I honestly really enjoy it. And one of the reasons why I do enjoy it so much is just because, like I said earlier, it's somewhat of a time capsule. You don't see Bandai figures being made this large anymore. You don't see them being made with such weird paint anymore. It's just really cool, and I wish more of these original Bandai figures were easier to find online. Now, obviously, this guy doesn't have a tag, and I've seen this guy tagged go for anywhere from $200 to $300, which is just nuts. And this guy being part of the illustrious memorial box pack, it just makes him even harder to come across. But anyway, for a size comparison, here's the boy with yesterday's focal point, the 1955 Gachapon figure. Here he is next to a GMK candy figure. Yep, pretty small, pretty big. I think the only other figure that I have from Bandai that matches this guy's height even a little bit, or maybe even perfect now that I'm looking at him, is the supersized GMK Bandai figure, which we'll be talking about very, very soon. Look at that. They're practically the same height.
Please!
But anyway, that's about going to wrap it up for this episode, friends and neighbors. If you would like to see my original review of this figure, it'll be linked at the end of the video on the end screen. I did that a long time ago. 2 years ago, maybe? Way different setup, way different camera, way different everything. But yeah, it felt good bringing this guy in front of the new camera and talking about him again. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I did making this video. I have been ShinRobjira. Yet again, hope you enjoyed. May Skronk be with you all, and I will see you all tomorrow for another Rob's Godzilla Room Reviews episode. Bye, everybody.